Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. I'm coming to you today with a quick question and answer video. I do get a lot of people just randomly replying to like my stories and that sort of stuff on Instagram and asking me random questions that are pregnancy related. So I thought that I would come on here today and I will just answer a few of those like more common ones that I kind of keep getting asked. So I have my phone here and my coffee because it's needed. Fun fact, I'm not a coffee drinker, so whenever I do order a coffee, you know I must be tired. Like, I hate the taste of coffee. I really don't enjoy it. So when I get one, I get like a mocha with like caramel or hazelnut syrup in it, just to try and like mask the taste of the coffee. So we may as well just get started. Did you have trouble conceiving for this pregnancy or your last? I really kind of like hate this question. It's like asking, was this baby planned? Was this baby not planned? Which is one that I have been asked as well. And I just kind of find it a bit rude just because I am very sensitive to others. Like, I have a lot of people, close friends and family in my life that have struggled getting pregnant and sustaining their pregnancies. So yeah, I kind of really don't like answering this question because I'm very sensitive to others who are having trouble. However, I will answer it, and the answer is no, we weren't trying either time. So with Micah, Jade and I were actually only together officially for like 2 or 3 months before we found out we were pregnant. Officially, from like our date that we made it official, we were only actually together for 2 months, but like we'd obviously been dating a couple of months prior to that as well. So no, Micah was not planned and neither is this baby. We were actually trying to be really careful this time around because we were actually planning to get married in October. We'd made like the decision that we were going to try for baby number 2 after we were married, but I really don't know how it happened. Well, obviously I know how it happened because like, you know. But yeah, we were being extremely careful, so it must have just been a one-time thing and it was done. So question number 2, when are you due? I am due on the 28th of October, so not long to go. This is a random question. What are your favorite type of shoes that you wear during your pregnancy? Honestly, I am living in sneakers. My favorite like go-to sneaker is Nike Air Max 270s. And then I also live in my Air Forces. And then I also live in, which I actually have been wearing a lot more now because it just feels like it's like cushions under my feet. But you know, like the Yeezy slides? Well, I got like the knockoff cheap ones from Cotton On of them. And I'm just living in them. It's so comfy. It just feels like I'm walking on a cloud. Did you experience any morning sickness? If so, what helped you? With Micah's pregnancy, I've discussed this in another video. I got hyperemesis gravidarum. I don't know how you actually say that, or I've just made that up in my head how to say it, but HG, so which is like severe morning sickness. So I had that with Micah up until I was about 17 weeks. I didn't have it this pregnancy, but I was still getting quite a lot of morning sickness, but not as much and not as often and not as severe. Yes, I've had it with both, but this time around it's been a little bit better. And funnily and weirdly enough, they both stopped around like that 17-week mark. So do you have the same symptoms this time around even though it's a different gender? So I actually did like a video a little while back summing up like my first trimester symptoms for both pregnancies, this one and with Micah. So if you want to go and watch that, have a look. But I have had quite a lot of similar symptoms this time around, but I've also had a few different. So there has been a lot of similarities, which made it really hard for me to like pick the gender when we didn't know what the gender was. So yeah, like I was for sure that I was going to be having another boy. What lotions do you use to avoid stretch marks? Honestly, I think there isn't really much you can do to avoid stretch marks. If you're going to get stretch marks, you're going to get stretch marks. Like, they're hereditary. I have been really lucky though. I haven't gotten any on my belly. I tend to always get them in my legs, like in my upper thighs. And that's the only stretch marks I got with Micah's pregnancy. And then this time around, I've got new ones. On my thighs, again none on my belly, and then a few little ones on my boobs. So the lotions that I've kind of been using for those though, Bang & Body firming cream, which I used religiously with Micah's pregnancy, And then I'm just using, I can't remember the brand, but they do like cocoa butter. You just get it from the supermarket and it's just like a hydrating oil. So I've been using that as well. Have you gotten any acne or pigmentation this pregnancy? So if you had have known with Micah's pregnancy, I got a lot of pregnancy acne and pigmentation on my face, especially like under my eyes. I haven't had any more pigmentation this pregnancy, but it has darkened. So it's becoming more noticeable, if that makes sense. And it's kind of just, yeah, still in like those same areas around my eyes, but it's not new. It's just kind of, yeah, darkened from my previous pigmentation. So I did get a little bit of acne in the first trimester, but I haven't really had too much since. Are you worried that when your daughter watches your gender reveal video that she will be upset that you were disappointed in the gender? I have been asked this question like 10 times, I swear. I wasn't disappointed, I was just in shock. Like, I honestly did not care what I have as long as it comes out like a healthy baby. However, I just had it in my head that because I was having like all the same symptoms, like I was so sick again, I kind of just always thought that I was going to be a boy mum. I just never thought that a girl was in the picture for me. I wasn't disappointed. It's not like I was crying because I was upset. I was just crying because I was in shock because I just did not think that I was going to be seeing pink. I was so adamant I was going to be seeing blue. Baby girl, if you're watching this, mummy wasn't sad. She was just shocked. How are you going with your gestational diabetes? Honestly, this has been a bit of a journey. I haven't actually really done anything about it. So I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes at 27 weeks. I am now 31 weeks tomorrow, and I will be 31 weeks in 3 days when I actually go in to see someone about it. So it's been nearly a 4-week wait, which I'm quite shocked because I haven't even gotten like the finger pricky thing to be testing my blood sugar levels or anything. You'd think that being high risk pregnancy and having all these things and precautions and preeclampsia kind of tunneling in on me, like you'd think that they would be onto this stuff and make it a priority, but yeah, it's been nearly 4 weeks and I haven't even had an appointment with anyone, which is really bad because I think as soon as you get it, you should just get your kit and be able to be testing yourself because it can be quite an issue. So I don't know if my blood sugars have been high or low or what's been going on. So I'm just a bit frustrated with the whole process. Gestational diabetes is there, but I can't tell you how it's going because I don't know. I haven't been able to monitor it or talk to anyone about it or anything. Have you had any cravings this pregnancy? All I wanted for like the first 20 weeks was I was actually eating really healthy, which I'm like so shocked that I've got gestational diabetes. But yeah, all I wanted was salads, ham salad rolls, tuna, veggie and rice dishes. That's all I wanted. I was actually eating really healthy for like the first 20 weeks. And then I just had like a bit of a splurge and just wanted like KFC all the time. But one thing that's been consistent the whole way through is solo. Like I just love solo. It's really funny because before my pregnancy with Micah, I never really drank soft drink. Like I'm not a soft drink person. With Micah's pregnancy, all I wanted was vanilla Coke the whole way through. And then it's so weird that again, in this pregnancy, I'm craving another soft drink, but different. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, now I'm not really like craving anything. It's just, I just want solo. That's the only thing. And everyone knows it too. If someone is like comes to the house and they're getting themselves a drink or whatever, I always get like a solo brought here for me. It's great. I know you come from a big family. Do you want a big family yourself? Before I got pregnant for the first time, of course I wanted a big family. Now going through 2 pregnancies, no. And I feel like really bad for saying this, but like I know that there is a lot of mums out there that feel the same, and I'm in like a mother's group on Facebook and stuff, and everyone says it that they just hate pregnancy and they're over being pregnant. And I think sometimes you get to that point where you're just like radio, like you're just so ready for your baby. But yeah, pregnancy doesn't really agree with my body, and I don't really enjoy being pregnant, especially because both pregnancies I've had like a lot of health issues. So to answer your question, I used to want a big family, not anymore. And people always ask me, do you reckon you'll have more? Honestly, Jade and I just really want to be able to give our all to these 2 for now and just see how 2 goes. Like I'm not ready to make like the rash decision like to go get my tubes tied in my C-section or anything like just yet. Give me a couple of years. I'll be going on contraception this time after. So give me a couple of years. I want to be able to give my all to these 2, and then maybe we will talk about having a 3rd and final but like 3 will be my absolute limit if I was to. So, but nah, I'm gonna be really happy with the 2 for a while. I always used to joke around and say I wanted my own basketball team, saying like I wanted 5 kids, and then my brother could like have 2 and his kids could be on the bench. But yeah, no, definitely not. 3 would absolutely be my hardcore maximum. That's it, no more than 3. Were you scared that you were going to be having twins? I actually really for sure thought that this time around I was having twins, because I didn't realize that in like consecutive pregnancies after your first one, you know, you show a lot quicker each time. And I was like looking at my belly and looking at photos from like this time, you know, 1 week compared to the same week with Micah, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm like double the size. Like you can see I was 6 weeks and I was showing this time around, where it took me to like 16 weeks to be able to show last time. So I was like, oh my god, like there's like multiple in there. But I have always been worried about, well, not worried, but I've always had it in the back of my mind that I'm gonna have twins. I would love twins, like that would be amazing. I have 1 set of twins on my mum's side, and I have 2 sets of twins on my dad's side. And I'm pretty sure twins are in Jade's family too. But now my nan's making me nervous, because I had a conversation with her just the other day, and she said that back in the day when she was pregnant with her 4th child, gave birth and 2 came out. So one of the twins was hiding behind the other baby the whole time in scans and everything throughout the whole pregnancy. So there was never any like clues or anything that there was actually 2 babies in there. She had twins when she thought she was only having 1. So she had a massive shock. So I was like, oh my god, like don't say that to me. Like I don't know if I can handle twins now. Did you breastfeed with your son, and will you breastfeed this time around? I had a lot of problems with breastfeeding. I was on all different types of like lactation things. Hard journey with breastfeeding, a very short journey might I add. I really wanted to give it a go because I hadn't had any experience. Like that was my first baby, and I wanted to just try everything. I really did want to breastfeed, but I just had really low supply, and we had a lot of latching problems, and because he was so preemie, he was kind of fed through tubes and formula through bottles and that sort of stuff before I'd even met him. So I only lasted about 2 weeks breastfeeding with Micah, and it got to a point where I actually resented feeding him. Like I did not want to. So we made the switch and swapped to formula from 2 weeks. This time around I'm not even going to try, just based off my last experience. It's just going to be easier for me personally, like in my mind and physically, to just go straight to formula feeding. Yes, I tried with Micah, didn't work, swapped to formula. This time around I'm not going to try, I'm going straight to formula. How do you think your son will go with another baby? Honestly, my son loves other kids. Like he'll see a baby come up on the TV, or like he'll see a baby on like his pack of nappies, and he just smiles and goes straight to it and just wants to play with them and whatnot. So I think he's going to be really good with having another baby in the house. I am also very nervous because he hasn't had that much actual socializations with like other kids his age. He is starting to get quite rough with his toys and chucking things, and we'll see. I'm nervous, but I'm not. I'm like really excited to see what he's going to be like with his little sister. Do you feel more or less movements with this baby, or is it different? This time around it is different, just because of my placenta position. So and with Micah's pregnancy I had a posterior placenta, which means it's at the back, so you're feeling a lot more kicking through your belly. This time around with this baby, the placenta is anterior, so that placenta is like sitting at the front of my belly. So when she kicks, I don't feel it like as much, and I find it really hard to like feel from the outside as well, like when she's kicking. I don't really feel kicks as much this time around. It's more like movements, if that makes sense. So like it feels like she's doing a flip or something rather than a kick. Sometimes I just don't feel like she's as active as what Micah was. When she is, like I feel her, but it's yeah, definitely different feeling this time around. Are you worried about sleep schedules having 2 children at different ages? I am, just because Micah is not the greatest sleeper. He's never really been a good sleeper through the night. However, I think he's just been preparing me for another baby, to be constantly waking during the night, because Micah still wakes probably about 3 times during the night currently at the moment. So I am very nervous that because the rooms are so close together in this house, they will be waking each other up, and we're going to have like 2 kids awake and crazy and stuff during the night multiple times a night. So definitely a bit nervous about that, but once we're in the new house it should be a bit easier, because Micah's room will literally be down the other end. We'll see. I am nervous though. What's in your hospital bag? I actually did a video about this my last video was a come pack my hospital bag with me. So feel free to go check that one out. Do you have a name picked for this baby? Yes! We absolutely love it. Like, I am obsessed with our name. I have explained it in a previous video, but I only ever heard one person called this name before, which is where I kind of got the name from, but we've spelt it differently to how she spells it. I have always said in the past that if I was going to be having a girl that I would call her a certain name, and I have literally said that for years and years and years. But when I found out I was having a girl, I just like second guessed it, like haven't been sure because I've just been hearing it so much. And like Micah is quite a unique name that I have not really ever heard anyone called except for one little kid on YouTube, so on TikTok, so which is where we got his name from. We love the unique names, and this other name that I liked was quite unique, but now like I just know so many little girls called that name, and I just keep hearing more and more and more. I don't know, it almost kind of like turned me off the name, which is a bit sad because I do quite love that name, but we haven't gone with it. We never even thought of any names for our son. We found out we were pregnant and my husband was like, this is the baby's name, like this is, there's no discussion. And he said it to me and I was like, yep, sorted. Boy or girl, that's what it's gonna be. And then it just turns out we're having a boy, which is what we wanted it for. What we actually did was, you'll see it in my last pregnancy series, we actually got our pug, our little pug Rocky, we got him to choose the middle name. We got tennis balls and we wrote on them, and our pug picked the middle name, and he helped us this time around again. So this time we've actually had to think of first names, and then we've also had to think of middle names. So we thought we'd keep the tradition going, and we got him to pick the middle name again. We only had 3 this time around. I'm not going to tell you them because you will see in a video after she is born what they were. Dad and I are keeping the name a complete secret this time because we want an element of surprise. Some people are obviously going to know when our baby is born because we have a booked C-section date at the moment as well. So yeah, so this time around we got him to pick the middle name again out of 3. And then because we actually had to think of girls' names this time, like for a first name, we had 6 names that we were choosing between. And we'd cross one off and then we'd add another one, and then we'd cross one off and then we'd add another one, and we just could not decide. So we got 6 tennis balls laid out, and our other little pug who we had for 6 months, we have actually rehomed him now. We no longer have him, but we took a video of him as well, and he chose a top 3 names for the baby. The other 3 we got rid of, and then we thought we'd make it even more special this time around, and Micah got to make the final decision. So he got to choose between 3 first names for the baby. I actually think we ended up cutting one of them before the video because we were both like, oh, like I don't really know about this, like this 3rd name, and we both really liked the other 2. So I think we actually cut out the 3rd name, and then Micah just chose between the 2. They all kind of helped out. We had Rocky's chosen the middle name, and then Creed and Micah both chose the first name. Could not be happier with her name. Will you be trying for a VBAC? To put it simply, the answer is no. I was umming and ahhing about it, and I, in my head, was like, nah, I honestly don't think I could go through that because I have like a lot of birth trauma from Micah's birth. But I actually had my obstetrician, and she told me that I will never ever be able to give birth vaginally, because even if you have another pregnancy after this, you'll have to have another C-section. So I'll be having a C-section. It's all booked. I'm not going to be telling you the date because I don't want people coming to me. I want to be able to surprise people. I don't want people to be like, oh, Jorji's having a baby today. Someone put it on Facebook before me or something. So are you nervous to have 2 under 2? I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I was like doing the math. Micah is actually only going to be 12 or 13 months when this baby is born, so it's nearly 2 under 1. But yes, I am nervous to have 2 under 2. It's going to be very full on, but I'm also really excited about it. Are you ready and organized for baby number 2? Yeah, like as ready as we can be. Like I said previously, our house we're building at the moment, and we actually have like an estimated move-in month, which is November. Baby is obviously coming in October, so we're going to have a month max probably where we're going to be living in this house and then having to move. Things like her nursery and that's not going to happen because we don't have the room for it in this house. The nursery won't be getting done until we move into the new house, so she's just going to be obviously in our room. Like we have everything for her now. Sorry, just need to switch positions here. Ooh, She has so many clothes and stuff already. We've kept like the unisex stuff that I had for Micah and just brought like a little bunch of like girlier things as well for her. She has everything, her bassinet, all her sheets, her towels, her face washes. We brought all new ones for her. We brought her all her own new bottles, dummies, nappy bag. Like I've got a crap load of nappies and wipes there ready for her to go with all her creams and bath wash and shampoo and all that. It's just all, we're all ready. It's just a matter of getting her here. But that might do me for this video. I feel like I have been talking for a really long time and my coffee is actually starting to go cold. So that just means I've been talking way too much. So apologies, but I will end this video here and I will talk to you in my next one. I think I'm going to do like a day in the life, pregnancy and looking after Micah type thing. So stay tuned for that one whenever I get around to it and I will talk to you all later. Bye. Thanks for watching.